Hi everyone, welcome. So today I'm going to talk about my final project in cloud computing and security. As you know, in today's world of cloud computing, security is one of the key factors or key, criteria for the data and services that is available in the cloud system to be secure. So, as a part of my final project, I have chosen the topic of implementing zero trust architecture for enhanced cloud computing security. So, this is the title, this is the topic which I have selected for my final project in cloud computing security. So, let's discuss how a zero trust architecture will help to enhance the security in the cloud computing system. So, let's move to the next slide. So let me brief you what is the agenda of this slide. This is presentation for today. We have a small introduction. The introduction which will be giving introduction will be more based on what is a zero trust architecture and what is a cloud and how they are interconnected. Secondly, we will also discuss about current challenges and risk in the cloud computing. Then we will also check on existing security controls and measures which is currently used in the cloud computing to secure or save the data or the applications. Once we discuss the existing or current cloud computing technologies, we will discuss more into zero trust architecture or security model. So what is its relevance to the cloud computing and how it can be used to enhance the security. Then we will also discuss about the implementation of zero trust architecture in a cloud computing. And finally, based on the findings, what is our conclusions on this topic? So let's start with the introduction. So as you know, right? So in today's digital landscape, the cloud platform faces an escalating threats such as ransomware or data breach, etc., which are demanding advanced security measures. So, zero trust architecture is one of the solution for this problem. It emerges as a revolutionary cybersecurity framework that eliminate the implicit trust, enforcing strict access controls and continuous verification and least privilege principle. So unlikely, as you know, right, in like a traditional perimeter-based security model, which is completely reliant on the static credentials like username and password, a zero-trust architect is designed to protect the dynamic and distributed cloud environment. So the basic principle is that there is no trust. So each time a user or a application need to be verified. So this is the core principle of zero trust architecture. So by adapting a zero trust, organization can effectively address the evolving security challenges. It can ensure the robust protection for critical data, application, and services. Okay, let's discuss what are the current challenges and risks associated with current cloud computing infrastructure. So, as you all know, right, securing a cloud platform, including the data and services, is a complex task due to its unique characteristics of the cloud environment, such as the shared resources, dynamic scalability, and third-party dependencies. So below are the few of the very important, most relevant challenges and risk associated with the cloud computing in current environment. So the first one is data breach. So data breach is one of the important challenges we are facing in the cloud computing. And secondly, the insufficient identity and access management. The third one is multi-tenancy risk, and the fourth one is inadequate visibility, and the last one is evolving threat landscape. So these five are the few, or we can say it's the most important challenges or risk associated with cloud computing. Let's discuss each challenges separately. So data breach. So cloud environments are vulnerable to the data breaches caused by improper configuration, weak access controls, and insider. threats. So the data breach is one of the very common challenge or risk associated with the cloud computing in existing cloud environment. So what are the reason for this one? So you can see the improper configuration, weak access control, and insider threats. These are the reason which can lead to the data breaches. The second one is IAM. So IAM means Identity Access Management. So if there is a weak or misconfiguration in the IAM policies, which can result in unauthorized access to the sensitive cloud resources. So attackers often exploit the poorly managed credential or lack of multi-factor authentication. This unauthorized access can lead to data theft and service degradation, which can bring a lot of loss to the organization. So third one is multi-tenancy risk. So cloud platform, as you know, right, often host multiple tenants sharing the same physical infrastructure. The vulnerability in one of the tenant environment can potentially affect the others as well. A side channel attack is one of the example that recently which you might have seen in the medias as well. Then inadequate visibility. So monitoring of what is happening, what all the things are happening inside the cloud computing is also another challenge. At present, there is no such monitoring mechanism which can able to detect and respond quickly when there is a data breach occurs, right? So the dynamic and distributed nature of the cloud platforms limits the ability to monitor and trace activities effectively, creating a blind spot for security teams. This will reduce the visibility, hinders the detection and response to the security incident. So this is security incident is quite often happening across the organization. So how we have to respond, or what is the response time that's supposed to be when there is an incident, all depend on the monitoring system which they have. So the last one is evolving threat landscape. As you know, the cyber threats on the cloud platform continue to evolve with threats like latest threats like advanced persistent threats, ransomware, and distributed of denial of service attacks becoming more sophisticated. So as a result, a prolonged downtime, data loss, and compliance violation will be experienced. So all these five challenges or risks can make the organization weak, or they can have a potential impact due to these challenges. So okay, so let's discuss what are the current security controls that organizations are currently using in a cloud computing technology. So the first one is encryption. As you all know, right? Encryption means changing the format of the data to another format so that only the authorized people can see the data with decrypting with the particular keys. So encryption ensures the confidentiality and integrity of the data by converting it into unreadable format for unauthorized users. So there is some limitation for each of these existing security controls. So the encryption limitation for the encryption is that it requires an effective key management practices. So if there is no good key management practices, the encryption will be very difficult to manage, because at the far end the decryption required a proper key for authorized people to read the data. So the second security control which is currently used is identity and access management. So IAM, or Identity and Access Management Framework, regulate user to access cloud resources by implementing policies that define roles, permission, and authentication mechanism. So basically, this feature or security control is based on the policies. So you can see the examples are multi-factor authentication or role-based access control system. These all are examples of identity and access management system. So what is the limitation in identity and access management? So IAM system is vulnerable to such a weakness because employee with access can decide to abuse, and it work with external agents to leak the sensitive information. So this is the limitation of this particular security control measures. So lastly, the identity federation. So a federated identity management enables a secure, seamless, and access across multiple cloud platforms by allowing the users to authenticate once and gain access to different systems. So basically what it do is that a user no need to do a multiple authentication for each application or each system they want to access. So one time authentication, it will allow the user to navigate multiple applications. So what is the limitation when the provider experience an outage or a security breach? User can multiple user or services can also impact it. So this is one of the limitation or drawback of identity federation. Okay, now let's discuss what is the relevance of zero trust security model in cloud computing system. So a zero trust security model, it's addresses the limitation of traditional security controls and provides a robust strategy for securing cloud environment. While, as you know, while there is no security strategy or there is no such strategy which is perfect, but a zero trust is among today's most effective strategies, as it reduces the attack surface and risk of a data breach. So these are the following the relevance of these are the points which highlight the relevance and efficacy of zero trust model. So first one is contextual access control. So zero trust emphasize the explicit authentication and contextual access control, where access requests are evaluated based on real-time parameters such as user identity, device health, and geolocations. So second one is enhanced visibility and monitoring. As we discussed earlier, right, the monitoring is one of the key parameters that required for the good system health of the cloud computing. So in zero trust security model, tools like SIAM and CASB align with zero trust principle by providing real time insight into the behavior, resources, access, and potential anomalies. So this is one of the key feature which is available in the zero trust architecture. So next one is protecting the multi-cloud architectures. So in a zero trust cloud architecture, they make a framework that ensures that all the content ensures that the policies are consistent across the diverse platform. So this is one of the key feature, and the next one is the minimizing lateral movement. So when there is a breach happen, if we minimize the lateral movement, then the impact will be very less. So zero trust will make also this is one of the key feature in the zero trust, micro segmentation and least privilege access as core zero trust principle that reduces the risk of lateral movement within the cloud environment. In the so in the event of a breach, attacker contained within a limited segment, minimizing the damage. So the last one, the last feature which the zero trust provide is adapting and evolving threats. The zero trust adapt to the evolving threats by incorporating proactive threat detection and automated responses and repair updates to security policies. So these are the key features or relevance how a zero trust is more useful or used by cloud computing in current architecture. So let's discuss how we can implement a zero trust architecture. So there are three phases. First phase is a planning phase, a second is a deployment phase, and third one is monitoring and optimization phase. So what is planning phase? So basically the planning phase consists of five key points. So first is access security postures. So we need to evaluate the organization's current security framework and identify the gaps. Then we have to define a roadmap, create a structure plan to adapt the zero trust principle. Then conduct a risk assessment, identify the critical asset, vulnerability, and potential threat. This is very important in the planning phase. So develop a security policy based on the outlines which we have prepared. Make access control policies, micro segmentation, and least privileged principles. The last one is select tools and technologies. So choose the tools such as SIAM or CASP for management system, encryption protocol, and also for the monitoring platform to support the implementation. So second phase is implement deployment phase. So in deployment phase, the first point is implement identity centric controls. So deploying a multi-factor authentication or role-based access control system to ensure user identities and enforce least privilege access. Apply encryption mechanism. So this is very important as well in the deployment phase. We can utilize AES 256 for the data at the rest, or TLS 1.3 for data at the transit to protect the sensitive information. Then establish network segmentation. So use micro segmentation technologies to isolate the workloads and minimize lateral movement. Then configuring monitoring tools. Deploy tools such as SIAM, CASP for real-time visibility into the network activity, user behavior, and potential security incidents. The last and final phase is monitoring and optimization. So monitoring, it's important, it's very important to implement real-time threat detection and response using tools like CM or CASP. Anomaly detection, analyze the logs and generate alerts for security team to address. So if there is a alerting mechanism, whenever the threat happens, the logs will be generated. So conduct regular audits, perform the periodic evaluation to ensure the effectiveness of the security control. Perform penetration testing. So test defenses to identify the vulnerability and structure the security. Update security policies. Adapt policies and technology to address emerging threats. Then last one is cloud environment adaptation. Continuously optimize zero trust measure to accommodate changes in the cloud ecosystem. Okay, so based on all this topics which we have covered, right? So here is the conclusion for the slide. So, a zero trust architecture revolutionized cloud security by eliminating implicit trust and emphasizing explicit verification, least privilege access, and continuous monitoring. It mitigates the risk like data breaches and lateral movement while ensuring proactive, adaptive, and resilient defenses. By leveraging advanced technologies such as SIAM, encryption, IAM, and microsegmentation, organization safeguard critical access, maintain compliance, and enhance trust with stakeholders. Beyond security, zero trust support operational efficiency, enabling scalable and unified strategies across multi-cloud environment. It is a strategic enable, enabler for thriving a secure digital first class. Thank you. Thank you so much.